We'll try this a couple times because it's probably gonna take a little while.
Okay.
But yeah, okay. So hi guys, Priten Vora here from RumoredNightsPress, and we are here with Moondead. If you guys want to introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Kristen.
I'm Danny.
I'm Nick.
All right. So these guys are a band from Springfield, Illinois, and I wanted to talk to you guys particularly about how you guys got started, what you guys do, and what kind of music you guys play, and also a little bit about the Springfield music scene in general and how you guys, have fit into that, and kind of the history of it. We want to give our viewers some background on the local scene as well.
Okay.
So let's start with you guys first. I know all of you guys have been in various different bands. A lot of people in Springfield do that,
Yeah.
like lots of bands and stuff. So how did this lineup get formed, and what do you guys do specifically?
I was driving on the highway like a year ago, and I was just bored and thinking about like what I wanted to do next musically, because my last project, Wilt Candy, it fell through, and I was starting to get really bored, and so I just messaged Kristen, and I was like, I want to do a band with you really bad. I don't know what, I don't know what I want to do, but I want to be in a band with you. And then we kind of got together and started writing stuff.
Yeah.
And then we approached Nick at a show, and we were like,
Yeah.
hey.
we were like, Nick will probably say no.
But let's just ask.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we were shy, and we were like, do you think maybe we would want to? And they were like, sure. And so we did. And then it was just off from
It just
there.
worked.
Yeah.
And then we kind of just did writing and practice for most of a year, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that was important to all of us, was not to just like, because sometimes it's fun to just like get 3 people together, write for like a week and a half, and play those 3 ideas at a show. Like, you book a show as soon as you like know that you're even going to be a band, but we were a lot more interested in like having a full set of music that was practiced and rehearsed, and like we wanted to be like a lot more thoughtful and slow about the way that we prepared for it, and we didn't end up playing our first show until like January.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We started practicing last April or so, about a
Oh,
year
wow.
ago now.
Yeah.
So yeah, we spent a
this is-
long time like
Yeah.
getting it tight and together and being very technical about things.
Right.
Yeah.
Refining and making sure that you had everything down for
Definitely.
yeah.
Well,
So-
one of the things that all of us enjoy is that like we all have like similar ways of like preparing and like thinking about music, I would say, and like we have a lot, like we're like our personalities all vibe with each other really well, so it like the writing process has always felt pretty natural. We just like get together, like send each other ideas, and then we get together for a practice and just like talk about whatever, and like it usually just kind of falls into place pretty naturally.
Yeah,
and we just
yeah.
like we talk, we play, and then just like we just like did that process for like 9 months, and then
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is our baby. We were pregnant.
just ended up with like, and you guys have, I mean, like you said, you guys have a like pretty full set of songs at this point that you guys are able to play, and like, are you guys still working on stuff, or is that
Yeah.
okay? Yeah. So
Yes.
Yes.
what are you guys doing right now then?
Well, we are going to be releasing an EP soon with 5 songs once that is mastered, and then we've already started working on a new song that would be on the next album. No solid plans besides that, but
Okay.
We know we want merch soon. We know we want
Right.
to tour.
Mhm.
Like we
Definitely,
just
yeah.
don't know where we're going.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. But I think we still, even though we have all of our songs recorded for the EP that we're putting out, we are still continuing to write and like put new things together, just because we know that we don't want to just get stagnant after that. We want to keep moving forward.
Yeah, that's something that I've thought was really cool. Like most other bands I've been in, like we write a group of songs and then we just play those songs for months, and like we don't work on anything new. But I don't think there's been any point since we started that we weren't working on something new, whether it was like writing a new song or like there's a cover set that we're probably playing next month, and like we have other covers that we do, but like there has not been a time where we are not working, at least in some small way, on a next thing. Like we've been like we haven't gotten to a point where we're just like playing the same stuff over and over. And
Right.
Yeah.
Which helps keep things fresh on end.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's lulls in
Mhm.
it. Like sometimes we'll get busy and stuff, but I think overall we keep it moving forward.
Yeah. I mean, like, life happens and stuff like
Yeah,
that. It's just like,
absolutely.
it like, and that's really interesting too, because I mean that means like basically at any point, that at any point you choose, you can kind of take the collection of stuff that you've been working on while you've been playing your recent stuff, and okay, like it might not be even you might not even have to like do the general thing of release like a record and then go on tour for a little bit and do that, maybe tour once or twice and then get back in the studio, then release another one and then repeat the process. It's a little more organic where it's kind of like
I would say it did all come together like very naturally, and like we like to like talk and hang out, and like we'll message each other's ideas like for our music while we're just like apart. Like if we think of anything, we're just like, hey, I'm really excited about this.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that's what I like so much, and I think that's what keeps us going.
Also, we use our band like Facebook message chat thing. We are on that constantly, not even talking about Moondead.
Yeah.
Like we are
We're
not
just, like-
discussing. We're talking about. I feel weird.
Absolutely.
Can we talk about this?
We're like sending each other funny gifts.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
the
Like,
best. The best.
Well, and one thing I think is really cool about that, like we're musically in constant communication with each other. Like we're always working on new ideas, but also just like as close friends, we're in constant communication with each other. So like we know where, say, like Kristen's lyrics are coming from. Like we know like what kind of headspace that is coming from, because we've been talking about it for the last however much time. Like and,
yeah, we
like,
really know what's
hour,
going
2
on.
weeks, whatever.
Yeah.
When I've always found that has at least some small effect on the way that I'm playing my instrument. Like when I know what the message or the idea of the song is, like that helps you play the musical side of things a lot better. Like, like anybody could play in Moondead well, but I think that we play so well together because we're so involved in each other's lives. Aside from Moondead, like we're very involved as a band, but like even if we weren't in this band together, we would probably be just as like in constant communication and like just like as we started that Facebook chat, we couldn't figure out what to like name it because we hadn't named the band yet. And like at one point it was just like a support group more than anything else. Like while we were
I mean,
still
it still is.
That's
Absolutely.
and it's like band chat / support group, and
Like we had to make a Facebook group, like a secret group, just because we had so much information in the chat that we couldn't go back and find like things that we
There would be
posted.
messages like all the time.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
then, like, and I'm such a shy, anxious person, like, all the time. Like, and then I'm, like, up there performing, like, singing and playing guitar, and I feel like I attribute that so much to, like, having such supportive, like best friends as band members. So it's, like, weird.
Because we're up there and we can kind of, like, look at each other and be like, like, oh my god.
We're doing that.
Yeah. And also, a lot of what I like about it is that if I'm having a bad week or something, and we have a practice scheduled, and I just can't do it, or I'm dreading like leaving the house, I can just say, guys, like I can't do this today. I'm sorry, I can't, and they get it. It's not like feeling guilty for this obligation, like not being able to fulfill an obligation. It's like I can say what I need from them, and then we can talk about it and figure something out. Like we all three care about each other so much. We care about each other's health more than our music, I would say, our mental health and our like ability to perform our music just organically like that instead of pushing. And I don't know, we don't push each other. Like we just kind of let life happen and be there for each other. So I don't know, it's really nice.
No, that's really good. And actually, like, that reminds me so much of actually the RumoredNightsPress group chat that we have among our publication, because it's like, there'll be stuff in there like, oh, can I send a request for, such and such show or whatever tour, and then like the next 50 messages over the next 5 minutes will just be like business fish gifts and like business fish stickers,
right.
and like random gifts of other things. It's pretty great. So like and yeah, I totally get that. And I've been in publications also where where we don't have that communication, and it's like okay, fine, like it's normal enough. You get your work done, you turn it in, it's fine.
Yeah.
But
it's
like,
just fine.
Yeah, it's just fine. Like this, I don't think like this publication specifically, RumoredNightsPress, I have not had like this much fun being in a publication with anyone else. So it's just I totally get that where it people are understanding. You can kind of joke around with each other. You can talk about other things other than just work or music or whatever. That's really helpful. So I like that. I like that you guys do that for each other, and it's really important also to have that kind of like to support, because a lot of people if their bandmates or if someone is forcing them to play things or play shows or record stuff that they don't want to at that time, or are just bad mental space to do that. It comes through in the work as well.
You can tell. You can tell. I don't know. I think that's another thing. We're all really open to each other's suggestions and ideas about playing. We very rarely like clash on our ideas, like what we want. Yeah. We're really supportive of each other's musical decisions in songs. So and that's the thing. Yeah, there
is also like there's that, and then there's also like the freedom like to criticize and like nitpick a little bit. And like I don't know, we're just all very like understanding and can just like continue.
Don't take it personally. Yeah.
I feel like we all trust each other enough and like understand like what the end goal, like the collective kind of idea that we're going for is, like what is most important. So like like it is safe to like throw an idea out there and like maybe it doesn't work, and if it doesn't work, like nobody's worried about it because
nobody's scared or upset.
Because one thing I was gonna say is like I feel like this, more than any other band I've been in, is the one that is the most like collective songwriting process.
That's what I was gonna say.
Definitely.
Like other bands, like and like this is just like a different process. It's not stifling or anything, but like it's usually like other bands I've been in. It's like there's a primary songwriter that has like a pretty fully formed idea, and you're just kind of helping them translate that idea. Where this is just like Kristen bringing a guitar idea or Danny bringing a bass idea, and like just like bringing that all together, and then we throw our ideas at that until a whole bunch of things stick together, and it's like
then we have to sit down and be like, this goes here and this goes here, and that's the hardest part sometimes. Honestly, it's just like, oh yeah, we have to organize it today. Like, dang.
It's like I've just been in so many other projects where it's like, here's my guitar idea, and here's like what I think would work well on the drums, like, and I'll go from there. But that's never been the case here. It's just like we just kind of like Moondead's here in the center, and we all just come and meet. And
and none of us, I don't think, have any expectations when we have an idea. Like I think all of us refrain kind of from trying to put it together like how we want it to sound, because if you do that, then you're gonna get, I don't know, it takes away a little bit of the freedom. From,
if you get dead set on that a little bit.
So it's best to just come up with an idea and say, here's that, what do you want to do with it? And just kind of let it happen. That's like part of the organic, natural flow that we have, I would say.
Well, and I would say that for all of us, like the ideas that we end up contributing end up being more adventurous, being more just like if each individual was in a room by themselves and wanted to play something that was like fun to play, that like goes well with that kind of music or anything like that, like we just like we're a lot more comfortable going out on a limb and playing something more complicated, or just like something more adventurous. I feel like that's true of all three of us.
Yeah, we'll like put a song together and like we'll take like an unexpected turn. It still works like musically in a way, but it will be like really weird, and then we'll just be like, oh, is that weird? And then we're like, no.
We just let it happen. I don't know. And also there's that factor of just not being afraid to go out of the box, because I feel like in other projects I've been in, I've been scared to kind of adventure outside what would be typical of the part that I should be playing. Whereas in this group, there is like a good feminine energy, like a supportive, almost nurturing energy between us that's like, I'm gonna help you grow this idea, and like I want to hear what you came up with, even if it's just totally wild and like doesn't make any sense. Let's make it make sense. Like we kind of make things go together, and like through transitioning and kind of just like molding it correctly to where it does work in the end, even if when it started it was just like, what the hell. Like we make it work. We just, or we'll say, you know, we'll use this in the next song.
Right.
And stuff like that. So it kind of works out.
You can shelve it for later as well.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So, okay, so that all that said, let's talk about the actual music itself, right? Like how do you guys, I don't want to, you know, put the genre label or anything on myself, so how do you guys, you know, think your music sounds? Like, what do you think about that?
Groovecore. I coined the term.
All right.
Groovecore. It's dark. It's kind of heavy, but it's groovy, and it's bassy and very. It's musically intricate. It's not hardcore. It's not where you just kind of play a chord together as fast as you can, as hard as you can. Like, but we do have that energy about it, I would say, a lot of the time. But we are so intricate about it, what we're doing. So it's musically interesting as well. And the groove of it, I think a lot of that comes from the bass. It's kind of walking around doing its own thing a lot of the time. So, yeah.
Well, and I think it's always hard to describe your own music, but I would say that it's easier to just like describe things about the music than try and say like, you know, we're like a post-rock,
We're
like,
this and that,
like we're not so like we're on the heavier side, but we're not like heavy metal. We're like we're all like very punk influenced, but it's not like really punky music. It's just like you can see where all our influences
definitely
come from, and like it's very influenced by just the environment of Black Sheep over in Springfield, I would say, and then each other's musical backgrounds. But like,
definitely.
I don't know. I that is something I'm happy about, like being in a band where like the only sound we have to compare it to is just like it sounds like what we would play.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't sound like a band that we're really into or anything like that.
I never want to sound like someone else. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Yeah,
So you
I
you had a little laugh when he mentioned that you know, it sounded like you guys had influences from your other previous stuff. Do you have something that you were thinking about at that time? You laughed a little bit when he talked about like
Me?
yeah.
Oh.
I don't know if you did it subconsciously, but you had this like when he said like, oh, you know, you can tell there's also influences from like our previous stuff.
Yeah, a little. I don't know. I guess I've just never personally felt this involved like in my previous bands. So like, I don't know, when they were talking about like their instrumentation and like with Danny, like heavy bass stuff, like and being super cool and all that. I was just thinking
I'm so super cool.
absolutely, and like I am as well, and like
Yes.
Yes.
and I kind of just learned how to play guitar, like actually focused on it, like for this band. So everything I do is very like intuitive and not necessarily influenced by much, I guess.
I would say so. I think you can tell it's original. I think you can tell that it doesn't come from something else.
Yeah.
I don't know. In my background, I've, you know, played jazz bass, I've played like classical bass and things like that. And I think that shows, honestly, in some of my parts because they're very intricate and they make technical sense. But it also takes another turn to go with the darker side of things and to meet both of these people in the middle. So it's like, I don't know, you can tell that there's something behind it, but it's definitely its own thing. I don't know, it's cool. I I think it's cool. We're super cool. Okay.
All right, hey guys. We just kind of took a quick break because the camera stopped recording on its own. But yeah, we're back with Moondead. Kristen vocals and guitar, Danny on bass, and Nick on drums. And we're just going to talk a little bit about the Springfield, Illinois music community, the Black Sheep Cafe, and kind of how that's influenced you guys and how that has helped you and how the scene itself has changed and grown and how you guys have kind of grown with it a little bit.
Definitely.
So yeah, I know you mentioned it a little bit earlier. So do you want to start off with it and kind of just talk about? Let's first talk about what Black Sheep is and like what Dumb Records is and how all that got started, and then your personal experience with it.
Yeah, for sure. So Black Sheep is a DIY like community-run punk venue in Springfield. It was founded in 2005. Did its 10th anniversary show last year. Ownership has changed a little over the past couple of years because some people have stepped down, others have moved out of town, but it is currently co-owned by 3 people, right?
I don't know.
Three or so. And also in the last couple of years, different like affiliated businesses have sprung up. So Dumb Records is on the same lot. It's just an itty bitty record store, also community run, like volunteer employees. Until about 2 weeks ago, there was a recording studio on the same lot. There's a skate park that's been there since 1988, I think.
Skank and Skates, by the way.
Yeah, Skank Skates is the name of the skate park.
Yeah. It's all on the corner of 11th and South Grand. We call it Southtown, and it's just kind of a little. It's where you go when you're bored, like you miss your friends.
Right.
And there's always somebody around. There's just a bunch of small areas that you can go to.
Yeah.
Well, and one thing that I think we've all been really fortunate with is Central Illinois in general, but Black Sheep especially, I think is a very good place to have as like your home punk scene. I know of a lot of other places like Chicago and St. Louis that are like different in their own ways, but like the ethics with which Black Sheep is run and the way the community functions are like very in line with like what I like. The things about punk that I really like are put into practice very well at Black Sheep, and like it's an all ages space. It's a sober space. It's
Safe.
yeah. It's a safe place to be. It's just like.
And people become your family when you've been going there for so long. Like, I've been a regular there for like 4 years now, I think, 5, I don't know. But you never stop going once you get involved. You're always going to be able to come back. It's your home. Like, I've had times where I kind of stop being involved because, whatever happens in life, you just can't be such an active member in the community anymore. But no matter what, you're always going to have somewhere to go back to. I don't know. It's home. It's like a home. It's genuinely.
I feel that way too much
Absolutely.
because like you guys don't know. I mean, I essentially got my start there as well. I shot a lot of local shows there, and I was there a lot during the summer of 2013, and that's where I met all these guys. Well, except you because I only met you recently. But I haven't been back there because I go to college in a completely different city, and I'm not able to go back that often to go to shows and stuff. But anytime I'm back there, like the whole Black Sheep crowd is very welcoming. They're really nice people. So that like having that kind of local venue and like that local welcoming community, again, like you said, a safe community, somewhere where you feel safe, you feel like you have friends and family, it's a really nice thing to have.
You
for
feel
sure.
accepted.
Yeah.
You feel like you can do things to get yourself kicked out of there, but there are very few things. Like you have to be a really bad person to not be accepted there.
Absolutely.
Of course.
Yeah.
And Black Sheep is like, I don't know what I would be doing in Springfield without it. Honestly, like it's
Me
just
neither.
such, I don't know, it's such a nurturing art space in many senses of the word, just because of like the people you get to talk to there, and like you get to talk about like music and art and like social awareness and social issues, and also just have fun and
Yeah.
have friends.
Yeah.
It's like beautiful.
That's like where my friends are, and they
Yeah.
stay your friends. They're always gonna be there, you know. Like even if you aren't active for a while, like you can come back and these are your friends. They're gonna welcome you. You can't ruin it for yourself unless you do
Unless you're
something really bad.
Yeah.
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 Well, and one thing that I was talking about with a friend recently, I went to school for music and like had a really good time when I was at school. But I went to a pretty small school, and like no matter what your ideas are about like the art you're producing and like the community that it's produced in, and like the like kind of cultural exchange that you have. I didn't have a ton of that at school because like it's just like it's an institution, and like you're playing with a bunch of people who go to school with you and you stay on campus, and it's like there's nothing wrong with that. I did a bunch of like
Right.
I was involved in a bunch of really cool things when I was at school, but once I got out of school and I started just like playing shows at Black Sheep, like the music I was playing was a result of the community that I was in, and then the music that I played influenced the community that I was in, and it's like been a much more genuine and like relevant and like validating kind of artistic environment for me, at least.
Yeah.
It's well, and also just the like the sort of set of standards for different kind of musical environments is so different. So like in school or in like professional music situations, like people want you to play a
competitive.
certain way,
Yeah.
want you to like be like really technically proficient and all that, and those are like cool things to be, but I am much more excited about hanging out and playing music in a place where like someone who picked up the guitar last week is on equal footing with the person who's been playing guitar for 15 years, and like a lot of times those people are in bands together and they make really cool music, and I think cooler music than like two people who've been playing guitar for 20 years. Like,
Yeah, you need all
because-
those perspectives. You need different places. You need to be in different places with your music.
Mm.
Because if you get too technical, it's sometimes you can lose that kind of natural musical feeling that you get with certain things. And I feel like if it were just Nick and I think it could get to a point where we did just get like too technical about it. But with Kristen, it's like, well, I mean, really
Yeah.
though, it's natural, and it's like you have so much natural talent. Like it's crazy. It's weird. I'm not kidding. It's crazy. And like
Oh man.
no, but really, and it's like I just think bringing that element in kind of grounds me anyway. Like it brings me back to, oh yeah, you can think like that.
Yeah.
Stop thinking so technically. Like, because she'll bring an idea and I'll be like, yeah, I could get into that. And like, it makes you think in a different way. Whereas if you put like a bunch of technical people together, sometimes you get too focused on what generically goes, right? Like what goes together. I don't know.
Yeah. And I think at Black Sheep, like the element of like social awareness and like keeping things relevant and like continuing like conversations with each other can also influence our music in a way, like help each other to grow and like get better as musicians. Like first we're like, okay, you don't know how to play an instrument, learn, start a band, but then once you're there, it's like keep going.
Yeah, you don't have to stop there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, like, that actually reminds me a little bit. Do you guys know the show Inside the Actor Studio?
Yes.
Yeah. So it reminds me, like, a long time ago, they did one with Robin Williams, and there's a part in it where he goes, where he's talking about, you know, how, like, those kinds of moments that really hit you in movies, and it, you know, he talks about stuff like you can try for all this sorts of, if you have a vision in your head of, how you want the shot to be and how exactly how you want things to move and everything. You can have that all you want. You can rehearse that and do that all you want. But when something really hits you, it's a thing that happened and it happened then, right?
Yeah.
And so I feel a little bit of that is what you're referring to as well.
Yeah, definitely.
You allow you don't allow perfection to get in the way of inspiration.
And
Yeah.
I know I can be a perfectionist if they
Oh,
let me.
trust me, I know that for myself.
Yeah,
I'm the same way, so I feel you.
Chill.
Well, and one of my favorite things that I've ever heard, and it was from someone who's a professional orchestral conductor, and his entire life is rigorous standards and excellent technical skill and all that kind of thing, but he that's the musical world that he is comfortable in, that he's chosen. But what he said to me was that all technical skill, all theoretical knowledge, all training and proficiency that you can get is there to aid in expression, and if at any point those things get in the way of expression, he says that you should throw them out the window. And I agree with that, and it's that is a lot of what I like about a punk musical community, is that it's very, very focused on being really expressive and saying what you want to say and sounding how you want to sound, and not sounding that way in a way that's really regimented and perfect. And I'm so much more artistically satisfied in this kind of a scene than I was in any others that I've been in before. And I don't know, there's so much to be said for music being a lot more immediate and expressive and relevant when it's a bunch of people who don't have certifications or degrees.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's so personal because it's just your friends can get done playing a set or whatever, and you can just talk with them about their music. It's
right.
You don't normally do that in real life.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just nice to be how did you do that? Teach me things, or let's trade gear, or
Real friendships are formed like that. We're so close, but it's because of Moondead. It's because we decided to get together, all the time and get to know each other and spend all that time together, even if it was for Moondead. More than half, probably 75% of the time, we are not doing Moondead stuff when we're hanging out.
Right.
We don't, I don't
Of
know.
course.
We have the intention of it.
Yeah.
We go in and we're
we're gonna
crack
today.
down and we're gonna get shit done.
And then,
We're
we're just can we be done now? I want to get down.
I haven't finished binging Daredevil on Netflix. Hold on. Let me finish this.
Yeah. It's very, I don't know. It's just the friendship of it. It just comes naturally. I don't know. And music brings people together in that way, I think, personally. Unless you don't let it. That's the thing. In other projects, you do get together and you do the thing that you said you're going to do. And you're okay, I'm going to go home now since we're done.
Right.
Okay, see you later. And it's not as fun or expressive or cool. I don't know, we just get to do a lot more and feel a lot more, I'd say.
Another really cool thing about Black Sheep, I think it's a very socially progressive space to be in. For example, there's a lot of people like me use they pronouns, and in general, most places in the Midwest, people barely even know about that, much less respect it and don't have to have a conversation about it. You just tell someone hey, I use they pronouns, and people are rad, cool.
Yeah,
and
it's just immediate change.
and it's the two places I've ever been that that's not a big conversation. It's just you tell people and they're cool, are Black Sheep in Springfield and Brooklyn, New York. Those are the only two places.
It's surprisingly cultured.
Yeah.
Springfield, Illinois.
It's just in our little corner. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just that's just one example, but it's such a progressive place to be in, and like it just lets people be the people that they are, and I think that influences the music that comes out of it a lot. Like when you feel comfortable personally, you're a lot more comfortable musically, and you feel safer being more adventurous. Like,
yeah, and I always say that I am just spoiled by it because you go out and you have these like normal people, like very normal, nice people who just they're not quite as, I guess, sensitive to it, and that's fine. Like you couldn't expect it from anybody. It's if you don't learn it, you don't know. But I'm just so spoiled by it. I'm like, I don't know if I want to be around you. And they're nice people, like really nice people. But just something in my mind, I'm just like, oh, you don't know about they pronouns. Like you don't know how to talk to my best friend. Like, I'm like it's hard. It's good to have those conversations with people and like teach them, but. I just get so spoiled by the fact that I'd never have to explain it to anybody when I'm in like Southtown or our music scene or whatever, because you don't even think twice about it. And then you go out in the real world and it's like, oh wait, I am totally spoiled. Like, yeah, it's weird. It is weird, very weird.
And the other thing is that I've noticed, at least, like I said, I mean, I haven't been going back there as much, or I haven't been able to go back there as much, but anytime, okay, summer of 2013 while I was there, right, like, I would go to shows and, except for Dumbfest, in which we had a whole bunch of people, most of the, like, the weekly shows would be, anywhere from 12, 15 people, maybe, if it was a slightly more well-known band, a couple more people would show up or something like that. But it wasn't until Dumbfest that I really saw that place get packed. And the thing is, I've been back there a couple times since, right? Obviously, Dumbfest the following year was a similar thing. You could feel there was more people, but you came to expect that. And then I went back just for another kind of like regular old weekly show, and I'm like, this place is packed. Like it wasn't like a fest or anything like that. It was a regular show, and it was packed. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah, like people come from all over like the nation, even like from like bands from Japan or like Spain. Just like coming to Black Sheep, and like we consider ourselves like such a little small town space, and we're just like there's like just a few of us, it feels like, but then hundreds of people are showing up.
It's very special to people. It is.
Well, and one of the things I think is really cool, like Dumbfest especially, is something that brings people from all over the country, from like a bunch of different cities and a bunch of different scenes, and like you just hang out and have a really cool time with each other for like 3 days. Like people crash on like Springfield people's couches, and like I don't know, like it's
forget paying hotel rent, right?
Right. No, it's great.
Nobody ever does that, like ever.
But it's just like I've been to punk shows in maybe 3 cities besides Springfield, but because of things like Dumbfest, like where we brought things from other cities, like I can crash on someone's couch in like Oklahoma City, in Chicago, in Portland, in Seattle. Like there's so many people who are just like, this was awesome. Like, if you're ever traveling, if you're ever touring, like, you can crash on my couch because I'm crashing on your couch right now. Or we'll
set up a show for you. Like, that's another big thing. It's like, hey, I saw your band in Springfield, Illinois. If you want to come to California at some point, I'll set you up a show. And it's like, I never even thought of that, but thank you. Like, it's like we're such a small area, but you get so many connections to all over the country and other places too. And it's just crazy. I don't know, all of those connections that happen, and you would never expect it to, but even just like bigger bands from Springfield have connections where you can say, hey, Looming, we're going on tour, help us find people to talk to and get shows. And you can do that, and it works because we're not competing with each other. We're trying to help each other get there, get where we need to go. I don't know, it's really cool.
Hey guys, we are back with Moondead, and we just finished talking a little bit about the Black Sheep Cafe in Springfield, Illinois, and Dumb Records, and kind of the general scene there, and how it kind of helped these guys grow as musicians and people. And we brought up something that I really love, which is called Dumbfest. It started the summer that I started going to Black Sheep. 2013. This year is going to be the 4th one. And Dumbfest is super exciting and amazing. I'm just going to let these guys talk about it because I've been there twice. I've been there too, but you guys have been 3 out of 3. So I'm just going to let you guys go for it.
Yeah.
Enjoy. What is Dumbfest?
Dumbfest is it is a music fest where it is just like a collective of bands from all over, like the Midwest area for the most part, but like bands from different states.
Yeah.
it's,
I mean, they all come to Springfield for like 3 days, and then basically we just play music like all day long. I think we do Skank Skates. We have bands playing there, and then also in Black Sheep. And in the past, we've had people play in Dumb Records as well, which kind of makes sense because it's Dumbfest. But yeah, it's kind of a electric show. And we basically, just go for 3 days. This year, what days are they?
June 10th, 11th, and 12th.
And we're playing on the 11th?
Yeah, 11th, which is like the main day. I think there's about 40, 50 bands or something.
Yeah,
in
something
total,
like that.
Yeah.
Some wild number.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
it
June
gets cool.
June 11th is the main day. I think that's the day that the most bands play. But
Yeah.
the 10th is like it's a little bit smaller, but it's still like way bigger than most shows.
Yeah,
And then the 12th, we actually have 2 things going on. We'll have a few bands playing at Black Sheep earlier in the day, and then later in the day, there is a rock and roll Hardee's in Springfield, Illinois. It's a Hardee's with a stage outside, and we're gonna finish Dumbfest there. So
And it's
man.
hilarious.
It's
and
great.
wild, but like,
it's the best.
It's too much for me.
I know.
It's
just
too
like-
much.
Yeah, we started doing that last year. I believe it was a Coneheads show. Like,
Yeah.
we had Coneheads play
Or
on
it
the
was
stage.
like, I think it was like this winter, was it?
It was last summer.
Oh, wow.
And last fall,
Jeez.
last summer, and it was just
I
like
don't pay attention.
we get a band like Coneheads to play like on a stage at Rock and Roll Hardee's, and like all of these just like passerbys are driving by on the street, and like families coming up with like their chicken and their biscuits,
Like trying to figure out why there's a couch on top of that van.
like
Well, and
like,
it's
I
rad
guess we'll
because
watch
it's like,
this show.
well, and there were people who just came to see the show. They weren't even performing. They drove up from Austin, Texas, to go see this show at a Hardee's. They like drove up, saw a show at a Hardee's, and then went back to Texas. Like,
It's
and, like,
ridiculous.
and it's just like,
So that's happening again.
so we're doing that again.
So we're just gonna do that with like 50 bands this time.
Yeah.
Well, it was great because when it happened the first time, like everybody was kind of banking on like it was going to happen, and then the Hardee's people were going to be like, "This is ridiculous. We can't do this again."
They
But the
did
Hardee's
not
people
react.
loved it. They're
They
like,
were
"No, come back whenever you want." Like,
They were really into it. We thought we
That's
were being like
awesome.
deceptive. We thought we were being like sneaky about it because
Oh my
nobody
God.
said this is gonna be like a
punk-
heavy show.
Yeah.
Like we just kind of acted like it was gonna be like a nice like rock show.
rock and roll.
Yeah, yeah, and it was
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
But they were
Mosh-
into it.
Mosh pits, everything.
I mean, it was cool.
Wholesome.
It was
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
So like that's the end of Dumbfest, but Dumbfest in general is just like it's my favorite couple of days of the year. It's just like so many cool people get together that like are from scenes like ours, but like that we've never met. So it's just about like a bunch of new rad people playing new music that a lot of us haven't heard before, and just like hanging out and being wonderful. And it's just like Dumbfest is like an experience that multiple people have written like sappy songs about because it's such a like perfect example of like what we're all about, what like Black Sheep is all about, what like punk communities are all about. It's just like a couple of hundred people getting together for a couple of days and just like helping each other like just play music for each other and like
It's
having a really
like-
great time.
It doesn't even feel like real life. It kind of feels like you're going on vacation or something, and
does.
you're just like listening to music all day, getting very tired, very sweaty,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's just fine. And
And
then
normally you're so upset about getting like tired and sweaty,
but
and
you're
grumpy.
just like,
you're like, I'm kind of glad.
You're just powering through it.
yeah,
Just don't care.
It's beautiful. And then
Yeah.
like after it's over, everybody's like tired for a week.
Yeah, or sick. People get sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys.
And you go home at the end of each day, and you're like, wait, I forgot that I was going to be coming home to my house tonight.
Yeah.
You're like, I thought it was in a different place.
Yeah.
It's so different from the norm. I don't know. It's cool. I love it.
Guys, I was there for 2 years, and I missed last year, and I cannot even tell you how sad I was about that. Oh my god. Yeah, if you guys are in the Central Illinois area, if any of you are like, you know, listening to this that are in the area, or you know, or are willing to travel, like, come to this. Come to Dumbfest this June. I think 10th through 12th.
Mm-hmm.
Like come to Springfield, Illinois. Just, you know, just look up Dumbfest and, you know, come to it. It's amazing. Just do it.
Yeah, and if you're worried about not knowing anybody, we make so many friends. Like, you
Yeah,
make
dude.
so many friends, and even if
We'll add
somebody's
you
like
on
the most
Facebook.
socially awkward person, you just kind of stand there and somebody will approach you. Like, somebody will say something like,
Yeah.
you aren't gonna get left in the dark there.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get stuck without a person. So just come alone. Like, you're gonna make a
Yeah.
friend.
I
don't know.
knew 0 people
Yeah.
in 2013 when I started going at it.
But you know
0.
so many people
I
now.
know so many people now. It's fantastic, and like, you know, I hadn't seen you guys in I don't know, a year maybe,
Yeah.
like maybe over that. I don't know. But then you guys came and played a show here, and it's like, definitely, of course I'm coming out. for
Yeah.
that, right. So it's
Yeah.
like,
You don't lose the connection.
yeah,
Yeah.
you never lose that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you pick it back up where you left.
Yeah,
always.
absolutely.
Well, and like if you're coming from out of town to like see the show, like you can crash at somebody's house. Like that is something that you
Yes.
can figure out when you get there. Like there are always at least a couple of houses that are having like 15 people stay with them, and like we will find a couch, we'll find floor space. Like just bring a pillow,
We'll figure it
or
out.
like and
do
just like
something.
yeah, just come to Dumbfest, crash at my house. Like we'll see you there.
Whatever,
Like
yeah.
No, and like, it's not even hard either. It's not difficult to find somewhere to stay. It's just
Yeah.
like, does anybody have anywhere I can sleep tonight?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And it's like 10 people.
We're
good, come on.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, I think that covers mostly everything. We think we got a good like hour or so of this. So yeah, thank you guys for coming out.
Yeah.
We're gonna wrap this up here a little bit, and I'll edit this together, put it up. One more time, if you guys can reintroduce yourselves and going out, and also if people want to listen to Moondead, follow Moondead as far as like knowing when a tour is coming up or new music is coming out, let them know.
Yeah,
All
we have a
things.
Facebook page, Bandcamp, just Moondead.
Moondead, one word.
One word.
Moondead, one.
.bandcamp.com.
Yep.
Yeah. My name is Kristen.
Kristen plays guitar and does vocals, and I'm Danny, and I play bass.
my name's Nick, and I am the drummer.
All right, and if you guys want to see more stuff like this, we'll be doing more of this. This is our first one, first like kind of long form interview that we're doing like this. If you guys want to see more of this, you can follow us at RumoredNightsPress. We're at RumoredNightsPress.com, and all our social media stuff is RumoredNightsPress or RumoredNightsPR. You'll be able to find us, no problem.